The cushy resort type of eating meant large portions and familiar food. The last cookout I encountered was not a grill by any means, nor was it the food for a tourist. In the middle of a large oil field in the deep south of Trinidad, I was shown the way the locals relax and cook out. Believe me, the theme and the idea sounded like what my friends and I do on a pretty day in our short New York summers. Cooking out that night started much earlier in the day, with the hunters going out early in the morning to shoot the, wait for it, Agouti. They are going to do a wild meat cookout later today with this goatee. Agouti. What I'm told is that it jumps around very, very fast and you have to shoot it, and that it tastes a lot like pork. So, once this is, taken of everything off of it, we'll break it down and they will grill it and do some other stuff with it, right?
Curry.
Oh, we're going to do curried goatee. Nice. You make like a stew with curry goatee and serve it over provisions and things?
Yeah.
Okay, well, looking forward to this.
What is it? That when you on TV?
Oh, the hunter is here. So now I have the hunter.
Yes.
Mr. Buru.
How long have you been, Mr. Buru?
How old?
Hi. How long does it take to get one of these? Like an hour,
about
all
hour
day?
time, yeah.
Only an hour?
Yeah, sometimes
Really
you
good.
get one, maybe less or more.
So about an
Oh.
hour, you can
Yeah.
have a goatee. I'm a little scared. Do you eat these a lot?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, I'll take their word for it. Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, he can go back in the
Thank you.
Thank you. The large kangaroo rat creature is the only animal with teeth sharp enough to break into Brazil nuts, and frankly, I was not keen of the idea of putting any furry little wild nut-eating creature in my mouth. Tastes like pork, I was told, and I eased into the idea of this. Coated in curry, I would be fine. Plus, we had provisions, yam and cassava for tonight, my favorites, and even a furry rat would probably taste good with those, I reassured myself as we followed a bumpy road back to the open air of a house on the oil field. Anyone who cooks from scratch knows a good meal is not always quick. This was a long and loving task, from the hunt, to the skinning and preparing the animal, to the method of cutting and washing, to the seasoning, and then to the start of the curry. Yeah? Does it make a noise? Like when it's out in the wild, does it make a noise?
Yeah.
What does it do?
Well, usually more squeak.
Just a squeal?
Yeah.
Noise?
If you hold one and squeeze it hard, like a little one.
Oh wow! So you already have many layers of flavor that are building on top of each other from the way that we made the seasoning. By we, I mean you made the seasoning. And the way that the seasoning goes with the meat and the onions and the peppers and the pimentos. The pimentos in here too? Pimentos. And then you have the layer of the curry that was fried. And so it's all coming together in a very aromatic way. Frying the curry while everything else was being chopped and diced, blended and combined, the sun was going down, and the meal, though already halfway through, felt like it was just beginning. So after it had cooked down some and the meat was starting to cook, it's been about what, 20, 30 minutes at this point? So 20 or 30 minutes. And you take some of the meat out because you have to taste it to see, first off, if your salt, if your spices are right. And then if the skin is still tough, it needs to cook. That depends on how much water you put in. Today we have yams and cassava that have been boiled, and so they're really soft, and he's going to mash them, which similar to some people make mashed potatoes or something creamy to go, underneath the stewed meat or other sort of protein. The images of the furry carcass with nails and arms and tail from earlier in the day faded as the curry continued to stew. The yams and cassava were mashed, the salads assembled, and all the other items finished and covered. And then we waited. And waited a little more. And finally, I dove into everything as my appetite was piqued by the excitement of being so close to a world I had never knew existed, or even more, never knew I would be welcomed into. The agouti was soft, and in the dark of the night a broad table was set and the family-style meal served. I was humbled by the way they could so patiently wait. In my world, it is hustle and bustle, 30-minute meals, and other quick fixes. Yet here, the time spent waiting was not even calculated or known. It was not an hour or 20 minutes, just when it's done. Few people can sit with an unknown amount of time, yet talking to each other and watching the dogs wander around, or even sitting in silence, were normal here. A lesson certainly worth noting for those who rush and rush until life is no fun.